We're out at Papago Park talking weather, and we always go to our expert, Dr. Johnny Malloy, meteorologist. We got to talk about this. We are just so waiting for the cool weather to happen. But let's recap the summer, the monsoon and the summer months. Warmer than expected, about the average. Same with the monsoon. Is this what we expected?
Yeah, it actually was warmer than expected. But we also had some rainfall as well, right? So if you remember, July was pretty much dry around here, unfortunately. Yeah. A lot of that moisture, that the ingredients you need for thunderstorms are shifting into New Mexico and Mexico. But by August, we actually had a nice surge. So there was rounds of severe weather, rain, and we're catching up on those rainfall totals.
So let's go back to June, because didn't we get some rainfall in June, which has never happened or doesn't happen often? Is that true? And if so, what was the cause of that anomaly?
It's rare, yeah. You know, June is one of our driest months here in the desert Southwest, especially Arizona. But when you get those right ingredients coming together, you know, those troughs moving over with some moisture to work with in the early summer, yes, you can actually get precipitation, and we just benefited from that.
So when you look at the summer months that we've had, and we're still in the middle of that monsoon, we've got some time left. Yeah. What should the people in Arizona look for? I mean, because we keep praying that, oh, here it comes, it's going to cool down, but we're still got a little bit of time left, don't we?
We do, yeah. And just recent summers, we've had that heat really extend even October here. So there's still potential for that. But remember, the monsoon is June 15th to September 30th. So even early fall can be summer-like around here.
Does the pizza oven effect we talk about, all the concrete and the urban sprawl, does that play a role in weather? We know what it does for ground temperatures, but does it play a role in the weather? It
does, actually, yeah. So when you have the city environment in the desert, it can affect your rain chances. So as all the ingredients approach the valley, like in an active monsoon period, unfortunately that hot, dry air that rises in the city can negatively affect the amount of rain and chances that you can get.
So I've been here for 30 years. And we all talk about the good old days, but I remember the days when the monsoons were severe, the rains were very heavy. Was that because the urban sprawl has kind of taken away the elements that allow for that to happen in the city and in the valley?
It can have that effect, but if you look at historical with the monsoon, it's very variable in Arizona. It might be surprising how variable it is. So it's very normal to have these oscillations between very wet and dry monsoons, regardless of the city environment.
We had the major Haboob hit the valley. It made international news.
Yeah, it did.
What causes those storms? People see the enormity of that dust cloud. What causes that effect to make that happen?
Yeah, so we actually have the ingredients to make dust storms all the time. It's just when you have the right thunderstorm in the right spot, in this case, south of Phoenix, where there's a lot of dust available, it just happens to get entrained. So it's really a matter of having the thunderstorms in the right location with the downburst winds and training that dust into the city.
So when those storms happen, because they are rare, but when they happen, what's your advice for people when a Haboob, when one of those dust storms happen? What do you suggest the average person does?
Yeah, well, first of all, in the monsoon, always pay attention to the forecast. You know, a lot of the meteorologists in the area will give you a dust risk. But if you are caught in a dust storm, well, that's something. You want to pull off the side of the road, take your foot off the brake, because people will follow you with your tail lights on. If you have to go through the dust storm, just move at a more manageable speed and just be aware of your surroundings.
As we get moving closer to the end of monsoon season, are we more or less likely, or does the risk or the likelihood of those storms increase or decrease, or does it just maintain until it's finally over?
You know, it's just, you got to have the right overlap of the ingredients, moisture, lift, and instability. And that can happen whether it be late June or into September, where really it's fair game to have those monsoon hazards throughout the summer and early fall period.
So looking at what we've had this summer, you said it was a little warmer than expected, but the storm activity, was it about what you expected it to be or predicted, or do you think we had a little less rainfall?
Probably a little less. Yeah. Early in the spring, the Climate Prediction Center came off with a more above normal potential, but then actually backed off on that, and that really did verify. It's not to say that areas did not reach their quota that you would expect climatologically in the monsoon. It's just the monsoon is feast or famine already, and yeah, most people were below average.
Great conversation about the weather this summer. There's more Broomhead coming up in a moment.